So, I feel like I've been in a rut, and I just thought today, I really wanted to do this YouTube thing for like a really long time, and if I'm going to do it, I'm just going to have to do it. I'm just gonna have to get the camera out and put the microphone on and kind of see what happens, and not really worry about whether or not it's an amazing video. So, yeah, I'm in a rut, so how do I get out of this? I guess the first thing I would do is I tend to journal about any issues I have. And one tool that I use for journaling and self-reflection is tarot. So this is the Modern Witch Tarot, but I use other decks. I have 3 decks in all. I also use the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck. It looks like this. And finally I use the, what's this called? The Tarot of the Divine. Kind of looks like this. Anyways, I just feel like tarot can be a really good tool. A lot of people explain it like that the cards are completely random and you just, your mind figures out ways to interpret them that reveal what's really going on inside. But I don't think it's completely random. I think there is some magic to it because there have definitely been times when I was doing tarot cards and messages that I really did not want to come out, or cards that I really did not want to come out because they revealed something that I didn't want to face, came out repeatedly. And often I find that when I'm going through a certain period of my time where certain, I guess, themes are present, specific cards will come out repeatedly that have to do with that. And then when I'm out of that period, they stop coming. So just personally, from personal experience, I feel like it's not totally random. And I often get quite good advice. Sometimes I don't get good advice, and I feel like often it's times when going to the cards isn't the best idea, when I really need to work on it by myself. But I feel like let's just check these out. One good thing I often do, or one tip I have, if you ever want to get into tarot, is to not use it as a crutch. At the end of the day, your own thoughts and beliefs and ideas, your own intuition is the most powerful teacher that you could use. And you should never distrust, you should never come to tarot from a distrust of your own intuition, I guess. So what I often do is before I even take cards, I try to answer my question that I have just from the voice that I have inside. And then I shuffle cards to see if I got any confirmation of that, or any additional messages, or any like new framework through which I can look at things. So I think my question here is, how do I get out of a rut? And my answer to myself is, first of all, that there's nothing wrong with being in a rut sometimes, and that doesn't mean that you're never going to be out of it. It's just a period, it's just a cycle. So my first inner thought is that I feel like I do need to be kind to myself, first and foremost, and kind of understand that I've been going through a lot of life changes in the past year, and that sometimes doing the same thing every day is not necessarily a bad thing. You are working up good habits and getting used to taking care of yourself. And I'm proud of that. Yeah. And I guess that this feeling of dissatisfaction now is a sign that I'm ready to start moving forward onto new goals. So how can I do that? I feel like I really do need to do stuff that's creative and not just get tired of it and quit it right away, but actually follow it through, which is kind of why I'm making this video, because I feel like it's a creative thing that's new to me. But I also really have wanted to get back into writing for the past year, 2 years. It's just been a little bit rough, not like how it used to be. In the past, I used to write every day, not because I was forcing myself to, but because I really, really wanted to. And lately, it's just not really been a priority of mine. I haven't had characters dancing around my head, or I haven't felt the insatiable urge to jot down a story idea. Hasn't been like that in a long time. And I feel like I want to get back to that excitement. Anyways, those are my personal thoughts, and now let's take a look at what tarot has to say. I'm going to choose one deck to look at and see what messages they have to this question. How do I get out of a rut? So let's see what the cards have to say. And which deck am I going to choose? I'm kind of feeling like Architect's type. Architect's deck. There we go. Today. I normally don't use the Architect's deck. I think that I use the Modern Witch tarot deck the most often. Followed by the Tarot of the Divine, and then the Archetypes. I just feel like I'm most comfortable with tarot, whereas the archetypes can sometimes be a little bit difficult to read. How do I get out of a rut? This rut. I feel like first and foremost I need to be kind to myself, and I do trust that actually I'm going to come out of this. I do feel like that's going to happen. I feel like this isn't forever. And actually pretty soon I'm going to be becoming a lot more active and energetic, creative, maybe trying new things, expressing my versatility. And maybe I can't see the steps I'm taking towards that because they're slow, but they are there. I feel like part of getting out of a rut is trying new things, and also trying to, well, there's some cards, stick with creativity a little bit more. I want any more cards? I normally just wait for the cards to come out. I don't really pick cards. I feel like that puts too much pressure on me to make the right decision or something. I tend to just let the cards fall where they wish. So we got the Unseen and Anima Mundi. Interesting. Okay, this kind of confirms what I was just saying, which is that I feel like there are things that are moving to me toward getting out of this rut already. New things I'm trying. Maybe stuff that's happening behind the curtain that might be happening so incrementally that it's a little bit difficult for me to see. I also feel like these two cards together seem to be talking a little bit about the realm of spirit, because we both have Anima Mundi, which just feels like kind of the spiritual realm, this cosmic oneness paired with the unseen, stuff that we cannot perceive with our own eyes or other senses in the real 3D world. I also noticed that this eye on the unseen is also on Anima Mundi, which doesn't always happen when you have similar pictures on each card. I feel like from here, it seems like there is stuff happening behind the scenes already that are kind of working this problem out for me. And that perhaps I'm already taking the necessary steps and I might just not be able to perceive it entirely from my vantage point. But a lot more is happening than meets the eye. I think this is what it's saying. So that's good. And I guess making this video is kind of a testament to that, because I haven't made a video in a long time. Anyways, I'm sure what I'll do for the rest of the day. I don't really feel like doing any more work, but also, yeah, I'm not sure. I've recently done or put a limit on my usage of certain time sucks on my phone, so aka YouTube, the biggest time suck there is for me. I spend like hours on there per week, so I've put a 30-minute limit per day on that, so I'm hoping that will kind of keep me a little bit less zombified after classes. Maybe also I'll try to do some writing. I set a little challenge for myself to try to write the first chapter of a novel and just do that, just focus on that. And if I didn't want to write any further, that was okay. So I might try doing that as well. And then I'll probably go to sleep early because I want to get to sleep by 9 o'clock and do some reading. Okay, it is 6:40, so I'm definitely running behind. I'd better go.